welcome to epicspeak. If you're new here, I post videos every week that are designed to help you gain confidence to breeze through formal and casual conversations in English. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 30 different ways in which you can say no. Many of us don't want to say no because we think it'll make us unlikable. But it's important to say no when necessary to maintain a healthy work-life balance and have the time to do things that you enjoy. By the end of this lesson, you will learn how to say no confidently, politely, and emphatically. So let's get started. The first one is nah. Nah. It's an informal and laid-back way of saying no, mostly used by native English speakers. For example, need some help? Nah, I can manage. The next one is no. No. It's another casual variant of no. For example, did you eat my ice cream? No. The next one is no thanks. It's used to politely say that you don't want something. For example, if someone asks you, do you want another slice of cake? You can say no thanks. The next one is it's not my thing. It's not my thing. Use this when you want to say whatever is asked of you or offered to you is not something you're interested in. For example, if a friend invites you and says, want to go bungee jumping with me? You can say, it's not my thing. The next one is, I think I'll pass. I think I'll pass. Use this phrase when you have to decline an invitation or offer casually. For example, if your friend asks you, are you going to Sam's party this weekend? And you don't have a mind to go, you can say, I think I'll pass. The next one is not today. Not today. It means maybe some other time, but no for now. For example, if someone asks you, would you like to have pizza for lunch? You can say, not today. The next one is not this time. Just like not today, you're saying no for now. For example, if you're at a mall and an assistant asks you, would you like to check our new range of skincare? You can say, not this time. The next one is, I don't want to. I don't want to. For example, if your parents ask you to go outside and play some real games, you can say, I don't want to. The next one is not interested. Not interested. When people call you with unwanted offers about free credit cards or housing loans, I usually say not interested and hang up. The next one is thanks, but no thanks. You can use this phrase when somebody offers you something that you don't particularly want or need. When your friend, notorious for her bad cooking, says, would you like to taste my new recipe? You can say thanks, but no thanks. This phrase can be considered rude depending on the situation. So mind your tone when you use it. For example, if someone offers you unsolicited advice, you can say thanks, but no thanks. The next one is I'd rather not. I'd rather not. It's short for I would rather not. You'd use I'd rather or I'd rather not to indicate preference. For example, if someone says, would you like to get on the giant wheel with us? You can say, I'd rather not, thanks. The next one is I'm good or I'm all set. I'm good or I'm all set. Use this to say I'm okay or I don't need anything more. For example, if you're a guest sleeping in at someone else's house and your host asks you if you need anything else before you retire to bed, you can say, I'm good or I'm all set. I don't need anything more. The next one is no can do. No can do. Although it sounds like incorrect grammar, it's very commonly used in casual speech by native speakers to mean you cannot do something. For example, if your coworker asks you to finish his project report for him, you can say no can do. The next one is I don't think it's a good idea. You can also say sounds like a bad idea. You can use this phrase if you don't want to agree to a suggestion. For example, if your troublemaker of a friend suggests, If you sneak out of your bedroom window at 10, I'll pick you up. That's a bad suggestion. You can say, I don't think it's a good idea, or sounds like a bad idea. The next expression is not now. Use this phrase to tell someone that you do not want to talk to them or do something that they are asking because you're busy or tired. Here's an example. If a receptionist says to her boss that Mr. Jones is here to see you about a charity event, the boss might say, not now, because he's very busy. You can use this if you're busy with work and your cousin or little brother asks you to tell a story. You can say, not now. The next one is I think not. I think not. Use this when you consider something unlikely to happen. For example, if you and your friend are going to the airport and you're stuck in traffic and your friend asks you, do you think we will get to the airport by 8? And you don't think it's very likely, you can say, I think not. The next one is I'm not in the mood. This is pretty much self-explanatory. If your friend says, let's go out for a movie and you don't want to, you can say, I'm not in the mood. Okay, so those were some phrases and expressions that you can use to say no. Now let's get to section 2, wherein we look at different ways to let people down gently. When your neighbors, colleagues, or acquaintances ask you for help or offer you an invitation that you cannot accept, you might want to say no without hurting their feelings. So let's look at how to say no politely. You can say, I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid I can't. So I'm afraid is a phrase that you use to politely refuse something or give bad news. If your grandmother says to you, can you post this letter on the way home? You can say, I'm afraid I can't. I've never seen a postbox. Another expression you can use is maybe some other time. You can say this instead of flat out refusing somebody's offer. For example, if your enthusiastic artist friend offers to draw your portrait and asks you to pose for an hour, you may say, maybe some other time. Another phrase you could use is, I wish I could. I wish I could. This phrase expresses your willingness to do something and also your regret that you can't do it. For example, if the nice elderly couple across the street invites you for lunch, you could say, I wish I could, but I'm swamped with work. It's always polite to give a reason for your refusal. The next one is, I'd love to, but I can't. I'd love to, but I can't. If you're up to your eyeballs in paperwork and your friend says, why don't you take a break? You can say, I'd love to, but I can't. I have to submit this project this week. Keep in mind that if you only say I'd love to, you're accepting the offer. You have to say I'd love to, but I can't, meaning I really want to do it, but I'm not able to. The next one is if only I could. If only I could. For example, if your cousin or niece asks you, would you help me prepare for my math exam? You could say, if only I could. I failed in math. That is the end of section 2. And now let's look at section 3, where you have to say an emphatic no. Sometimes you have to put your foot down and say no, especially when dealing with pesky salesmen or stubborn children, because they just won't take no for an answer. So you need to make sure you leave no doubt in their minds about what you're saying. And here are some ways in which you can say an emphatic no. Certainly not, or absolutely not. If your daughter asks you, can I use your credit card to buy a new iPhone? If not your daughter, then your brother. If you're working, someone who's dependent on you, if they say this, can I use your credit card to buy a new iPhone? You can say certainly not or absolutely not. The next one is it's out of the question or no question about it. Out of the question, no question about it. Don't even ask me. So, example, Dad, can I go on a trip to Goa with my friends? Dad says it's out of the question. Another expression is not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Example, if a sister says, will you babysit the kids while I go out shopping? brother or the other sister can say, not gonna happen. Another one is, there is no way. There is no way. For example, a mom might say, there is no way I'm letting you stay over at a friend's place all night. There is no way I'm letting you stay over at a friend's place all night. It's a very emphatic no. The next one is in your dreams. In your dreams. This is a bit rude and also very straightforward. You use this expression to refuse a proposal or to strongly suggest that you think something is not going to happen. For example, if someone says, will you go on a date with me? The girl might reply, in your dreams, if she wants to say that there is absolutely no chance of me going on a date with you. Also, if your friend who doesn't have a decent comic sense says, I want to become a stand-up comedian, you can say, in your dreams. You're suggesting that it's not likely to happen. It's very unlikely to happen. The next one is when hell freezes over. When hell freezes over is another way of saying that the chances of something happening are absolutely zero. Hell freezes over, the chances of hell becoming cool are very less. So when that happens, this can happen. If a cousin or a younger brother says, can I drive your car? The older brother might say, sure pal, when hell freezes over. The next one is heck no or N to the O. Heck no or N to the O. So it is an emphatic no to a request or a suggestion. Example, one brother says to the other, should we tell mom that we broke her favorite vase? The other brother might say, N to the O, bro. Absolutely not. No. A very emphatic no. And the next one is ask me in a year or ask me again in 100 years. Ask me in a year or ask me again in 100 years. Right now, the answer is no. But if you ask me in a year, my answer might change. Right now, it's no. So don't bother me with that question again for at least a year. So if a teenager asks, Mom, can I get a tattoo? The mom might say, ask me in a year or ask me again in 100 years. So which one is your favorite way of saying no? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you and it'll help my channel grow. And hit the bell icon if you want to be notified every time I post new content. For now, watch these two awesome videos and I'll see you soon.